All right, welcome to another video from the chart reader. So I'm going to have a little fun today and we're going to look at the meme stocks, okay? A couple of things I think are really important to say here. Technicals do work for everything from the big indices like the NASDAQ all the way to these meme stocks, right? The one thing with these is obviously going to be volume, okay? Just make sure you know what the day before, or today in this case, what the volume was before tomorrow's action. Because look, obviously we'll get to the technicals as we get into it, but you can see volume was here. It was at 92 million. It was able to go a little higher to 100, and then it was able to double to 200, right? Tomorrow, I'm expecting volume to continue up, okay? If it drops to here, that's going to be scary, right? So that'll be across a lot of the stocks that we talk about. But again, hey, technicals do work for these, all right? That said, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to look at the daily and the weekly to see what's setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are none here, so I will be drawing some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. So look, it monster day, right? 68%. I'm honestly not too sure what's happening after hours because clearly I'm making this video right now. But monster day, and honestly, it looks like it might not be over yet, okay? So why do I say that? What's happened, right? We definitely break the 8 for the first time in a good while, right? Obviously off the screen, right? Not only that, we gap over the 20. We don't even pretend to fight with it and just really dominate the 50 today, right? Pretty much a completely full candle closing to here, right? There's a really nice gap between the 50 and 100, so there's some movement there. And really there's a whole mess of red downtrend to fill right here, right? So a lot of real good positivity even after seeing this 68% day, okay? What will really matter, I'm going to say it one more time, is volume, right? I love the increased volume. Obviously, that's helping the MACD and the RSI just peak up, and that's a beautiful thing, right? But volume really is going to be king with these, okay? Honestly, I'm still feeling a little bullish here, okay? I could see this being a stopping point. I can obviously see the 100 being a stopping point, okay? So, and look, real quick, oh, this hasn't crossed yet. Interesting. Okay, so if this would be, I think this is going to be a real important open point. Again, I don't know what's happening after hours, but I would want to open at 363 or higher. I would hate for this to be a rejection point. Now, I'll say this. If tomorrow's a red day, I'm willing for it to drop basically to 315, 316. Let's stay over it. The 50 moving average, you see it over there, is 315. If it drops to here, I'm still okay with that because we're gonna go up, hopefully bounce, right? So let's see what happens. Again, if this cracks, this could be an interesting entry point if you're not in already. I'll throw that out there right there. Maybe you get to go from here to here. If not, ride it all the way from here to here, right? But hey, just because it says 68%, that does not mean it could definitely give another green day tomorrow. And again, that looks good. That looks good. That obviously looks great. As long as volume doesn't drop dramatically tomorrow, I'm okay with that. And one more time, if it drops to like over or just on the 50, I'm also still okay with that. Obviously, I'd love for it to go up this way, right? So, yeah, real monstrous. And look, what really started it was pretty much this gap fill right here, right? I don't know what made it do this, but once that happened, red, gap, turns into green really quickly, right? We've said it across other stocks. So you can see what this setup was right there, and then the meme power took it from there. So take a look at the weekly. Hey, interesting. And again, I think this line, oh man, I didn't even know that. That even might be worth an average up position in all honesty. Because look, on the weekly, that's a monstrous candle. Because after that, there's just so much red to fill. Maybe there's reason to believe this might come close to 5, if not pass it, and almost go to 7 in all honesty. So Best Buy really might not be done yet. Again, MACD wants to peak up. RSI is looking good for the first time in a while on this weekly. How high was it right here? Okay, it got a little higher on the weekly too, so it got to 52. That's the exact number. You see it in the box right there. So there's definitely still room for it to go up. And again, clearly this was the biggest volume in a long time over the week. Let's see how it ends, and let's see how next Tuesday opens, because again, Monday is a holiday. So Best Buy still looks like there's some life to be had here, actually. So real interesting. AMC, let's talk about AMC. Hey, very nice. Okay, so what's happening here kind of looks like an interesting setup, right? You see what happens. It can make a good move on the breaks, but this is a real long moment under the 8. This looks like a good break right here, a nice confirmation. Breaks the 20. Are we over this? All right, I would set an alert for right there. I'm going to obviously draw the line as well. But yeah, if AMC can get over this line right here, there's a lot of reasons. Red could very quickly turn green, and really maybe drive it all the way up to here very quickly, because that's the next red candle, which is over the 100, right? So at this point, if 533 breaks, there's a real good chance it'll actually just crush the 50 and go straight to the 100. Again, volume keeps increasing. Hopefully tomorrow we can go up there. Look, this thing's been as high as 95 million not that long ago. That would double up today's if it happened, right? Double the volume. We saw what that did with Best Buy, right? So AMC actually does look pretty interesting. Again, I know it says a 20% candle, but we just saw it with Best Buy, right? You can, oops, Bed Bath and Beyond, not Best Buy, sorry. But with Best Buy, you see this was a very big candle, right? This went from 179. I'm not going to do the math really quickly there, but that was definitely a double-digit day, and it brought a 70 after, right? So just because AMC is showing a 20 banger today, that does not mean it's over. And I'm telling you, 533 is going to be a magic number. I definitely set my alert right there. And really, it looks like I can lower the line to a little closer to right there. 529, a couple cents lower. Cool. AMC looking nice. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Okay, so couple ways of seeing this, right? Definitely a bad weekly, definitely well under the 8 still, but it does look like there's a nice little gap fill, and the line that we just drew looks like it could go a little higher on the weekly. So maybe reason to believe that we'll at least make a run to the 8. The question will be, can we break the 8 on the weekly? Because from there, if we could break the 20 as well, that's a huge gap up, right? And a lot more red than green. So resistance could be pretty minimal as well after this 811. So I'm going to draw that one just to have it, because that's definitely going to be an important line. And then really that's all I need there. Yeah, that's perfect. Boom, boom, boom. And then again, you break that 813 and you can see why, right? The next line would probably be right there. Yeah, interesting for sure. AMC, make sure you watch this bad boy tomorrow. GameStop, GME. Okay, again, a pretty good setup. I would say AMC looks a little better. There's a lot more of a higher wick here. I think AMC looked like a bit of a more complete candle, right? Yeah, I like the AMC candle shape more. That's at 48 million. What's your volume at? 7 million. Cool. So AMC had more volume and a nicer candle. I would lean on that over this one. But look, again, a whole lot of being under the 8. Good break yesterday. Good break today of also the 20. Good reason to believe we're coming up here, right? The next real resistance, I'll put the underline. Let's see what the underline is. Yeah, if we can break pretty much 20 bucks, there's a real good reason to believe we'll come up to at least, 22 right there. That's a pretty good 10 banger right there. Not too shabby. From there, hey, you never know what volume can do, right? But yeah, good reason to believe that this is going to come up here, which is at least 10% on this line, if not a little higher if it actually hits the 50, right? And again, if it could break this, there's just more red behind it that really would pretty much take us to this 26 right here, right? So a good amount of confidence as well here. And look, good MACD, good RSI. Volume is getting better, actually. It looks like way more days of buying than selling, and today was actually the first good buy over the 50 moving average. Again, tomorrow, I'd love to see a little closer to like 10 million, and definitely another green day, more buying than selling. But yeah, game again looks good. Again, we're 3 for 3 on these memes, right? Interesting. So that 20 line, that 1920 that we see here, pretty much lines up right with the 200, right? So it would be real nice to regain the 200 as well, right? Because I'd guess, yeah, we're definitely under all the lines on the weekly, right? This could be a quick way to just kind of bang up over all of them, right? Because the 200, it's the last one for a reason, right? You either lose it devastatingly or like, hey, it could help rocket you up back over a lot of them, right? So let's see what happens here. I would say best. I keep doing Best Buy instead of Bed Bath and Beyond. Sorry, I think Bed Bath Beyond still look like the best weekly. I liked AMC more than Game, but really all three of them have looked very nice. CVNA Carvana. Okay, hey, nice again. What's happened, right? So this was definitely way under the 8 and really way under the 20 for a good while. There was an attempt here to break both, definitely a fail, and then another back up, right? Gotta love it. And with today, we get a nice volume crack over the 50. Good MACD, good RSI. This actually looks pretty interesting right here. This is definitely going to be an important line. Ooh, we're pretty much right on it. There's a good chance of a gap fill right here, right? You gotta love a good gap fill chance. And it would pretty much take us right to the 50, right? What's after the 50? Man, look at that. Again, if you can break the 50, I'm seeing a lot of red candles. I know these are here too, and yeah, there's definitely a reason to think these could stop some, but really, if we could break that $7 for lack of words, there's a real good chance it runs to that 1340 up here. So Carvana actually looking pretty interesting as well. Yeah, today was the first big day of volume though, so tomorrow definitely will matter. But yeah, 37 million is no joke, right? That's a good jump up from this. So more than double the last couple days easy. So, but yeah, definitely looks like there's a nice little gap fill to have, and the gap fill, yeah, that might also depends on how easy it goes up, right? Because the RSI is actually not too bad. Maybe it'll hit this and keep going. Maybe that gap fill will take us a little closer to that like 78, 77 number. And but nonetheless, yeah, that's not too shabby right there. What does the weekly look like? Interesting weekly. So again, if we can get over the 8, it'll be the first time in a real long time. From there, will we maybe break the 20? I don't necessarily know, but that would be a real nice swing from here to here, right? It's obviously a little more than 2x if it hits, right? With this $8 being the next real line. So I'll go ahead and draw that one as well, just to have it. But yeah, Carvana also looking interesting. We're now 4 stocks in, and all 4 are looking pretty juicy. So Party City, I'm not going to lie. I heard a good amount of chatter online the day before it did the silly pop, right? So I kind of regret missing that. But hey, don't take these meme ones to the heart, right? There's a little bit of gambling in these. I think we all know that. But you can see how technical analysis will help you at least a little bit, right? So Party City, what am I seeing right here, right? So clearly a bunch of trading under the 8. An attempt to go up and then a hard fail down. I don't know if this was earnings. I have absolutely no idea. But that's nasty. There's a thing I've talked about. When a stock does really bad, it's very easy for a bottom feeder swing to happen. So if something loses, I mean, honestly, like today, this 37% drop today that we see here, there's a real good chance we'll get a follow-up the day after. It's a bottom feeder swing. A lot of people do it. The reason I hate doing it, because as easily as it could go up, you can very easily see a bunch of red right behind it, right? So for me, it's a little more gambling. A lot of people also make more money after hours and pre-market than they do actually in the actual trading hours. So just keep that in mind with that bottom feeder thing. But look, what am I actually looking at, right? We broke 2 moving averages, on a single candle, and we were so far from it, right? This gap up, I'm sure, fooled a lot of people, because I always say I want good confirmation after you break 2 lines or multiple lines on a single day, and starting with a gap up is incredibly bullish, right? So I'm sure a lot of people got fooled by that. Unfortunately, this is only where it started, and then it obviously, as we see right here, right, it was pretty much a 40% drop, right? That's rough. What could happen next is one of 2 things. Either we're going to try to come back up to this 33, 34 range and at least retake the 8. I would love for it to come to here, and I'm going to draw my first line right here. If we could retake this, Oh, and you can see it pretty much lines up here. So yeah, this 38 number is going to be real important. I'll be real honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here. I would like to know what happens with this 38-cent line for sure. If we break 38 cents, there's a whole mess of red to believe will come up to right here to 70. Not quite 2x, but yeah, 40 to 70 is a beautiful percentage, right? So this seems like the safer trade than trying to figure out what's going to happen here, right? Again, I have no idea what's going on after hours. If I had to guess, I would think it's up right now, but we are looking at regular hour only when we do our charting. So, but yeah, I would want to break this to re-enter. At this point, this is not a good candle, right? We lost the two lines we broke. We're well under 50%, right? 50% of the candle is probably around here. We're definitely a little closer to 2/3 of it gone, 1/3 left, right? So a lot of signs actually do point to it coming down here back to 21, right? That's not a great RSI. MACD's still okay, but again, it's kind of curving out more than it's going up, right? So I can see this kind of cooling off, if not coming down. But yeah, if this breaks, obviously I'll be real interested because that's still a real low RSI. MACD's close enough to 0 to where a good green day would still take it up. And hey, back-to-back volume, right? So it's not like there was a crazy drop in volume. And again, I'm telling you, this gap fill, I'm sure, hurt a lot of people. But yeah, you clearly, volume's one part. You need more of it to be buys than sells. That's the other part, right? So Party City, though. Let's take a look at the weekly. Again, not a good weekly. If we can break that line on the daily, look at all that red on the weekly. There's a lot of reason to believe it'll actually come up to 134, 136. Damn. This one actually will take us right to the green. I mean, right to the orange on the 20, right? So let's go ahead and make this line instead of this line. That pretty much puts us right there on the weekly, and I think it'll be an important line on the daily. Where does it put? And on the daily, it puts us right below those two and right on the gap fill. Gotta love that. That's a good line right there. So interesting play to be had here if the conditions are right, and really tomorrow's follow through in this 38-cent line. And again, I only see 2 decimals here. Make sure you find yourself with the 4, and it seems like, give me 1 second. We're going to use the July 4th top and the 12.6 bottom. Okay? 12.6 or 12.16? Yeah, sorry, 12.16. I thought I saw an extra digit there. 12.16 and 1.4. Use those if you can see 4 digits somewhere else. Again, I do not move any money here. This is my simulated thing. The only reason I'm using this is because it's really good for the indicators, actually. GNUS, all right, the GNUS brand. Hey, this is a beautiful chart right here, right? Nice break of the 8, good confirmation. Doesn't quite take the 20, but just a little curve, and then it does it. At this point, have we cracked that? We haven't, but yeah, if we do crack it, I'd love to know. Let's set an alert for 60. Let's make the line right here just so we have it. Look, you break 60, RSI still pretty low, MACD looks good. We've had a good amount of volume actually the last 7 days. You can even see the last 9 days, right? Look at all that selling that was just behind it, right? And that's obviously right there. But yeah, 2 days over the 20. A lot of reason to believe we'll at least come to this right here, right? So that would put you just under 10%, not quite a good swing. But yeah, if this breaks, you'd pretty much run to here, the 66 cents. And that actually lines up pretty well with right here. So good reason to believe this 100 might be the stopping point around 65, 66. Otherwise, yeah, it might take a quick run to the 200 right there actually. So I still find this bullish as well. I don't think we've had a single bad one except for Party City. Good MACD, good RSI. I already talked about the good volume. GNUS brand looking beautiful actually. Not a great weekly, but this is kind of the shape we've seen on a few of them, right? A whole mess of red and then what's starting to look like an uptrend up, right? So a good amount of traffic is going to happen right here at that 64, 65 cent range. And that's pretty much what we talked about right here, right? 65, 66. So we can see that too play out on the weekly. So be careful right here. But yeah, if it breaks it, it actually might get quickly ran up to 70 cents. So yeah, I'm still bullish here. I think there were a couple others that have more room. But yeah, this one, and look, this one's actually done pretty well the last few days too, right? So looks like it's already up 20%, right? Because from 50 to 60, that's yeah, 10 cents, 20%. So this one has done well. AFRM, affirm. Okay, interesting. Another nice setup. Okay, where are we compared to this? Oh, nice. Okay, so if we can break this, real good chance to believe that we're going to come here. Again, though, look, you break two lines. What do you want to see? Real good confirmation. And what the confirmation actually did was gap filled all that red, right? So it just boomed on through real quick. Gotta love that. I also love the complete candle. People were literally buying till the very end, right? Looks like the close and the high are probably going to be the exact same number. Yeah, a penny away from each other, right? So literally buying all day. Again, if this breaks, there's a lot of red to fill, right? And that would pretty much take us, yeah, just over the 50. So a good amount of downtrend to be filled here, right? So literally almost every single stock we've looked at so far has been real nice. Beautiful MACD, nice RSI. Overall, pretty good volume actually through most of the middle through this month, right? So Affirm looking pretty nice. Hey, finally gets to crack the 8 on the weekly. Obviously, we're still in the middle of the week, right? So anything could happen in the next couple days, but like the fact that we're over it. Again, the line that we had on the daily actually isn't that significant of a line. It actually looks like this should come up to 1290, closer to 13 than this 1140 we have. So again, if that line breaks, good reason to believe we will come up. And where did that take us? Interesting. Okay, yeah, pretty much put us in this somewhere. So nice. Okay, cool. Affirm still looks good actually. And this one's last on the list is XELA. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. Wow, interesting. I will say that one more time. Okay, so what are we looking at here? The first thing that really caught my eye was the volume here. So we had one monster day of buying, another monster day of buying that was actually higher volume, but it didn't quite do what you would have expected. It gaps up over the 20, but ends up closing down here. Still some positive things to say though, because look, this day closed down here. This day, though a red candle, did close a little higher, right? Again, I only see 2 decimals, but clearly the 2 behind these, this one ended higher than this one, right? So as long as we can see some positivity, if we can get over this day, what is it, the 1229, I'm still going to feel a little good here, right? And there is so much red, okay? If this thing can crack the 20, there should be a real nice climb to 15, okay? So just look at that. Again, I'm really surprised the volume looks like this, but the candles look like that. Nonetheless, is what it is, right? MACD and RSI are both green over red, which we like. RSI looks like it's about to start kind of going up as well from a real long horizontal too. So XELA, a lot to be excited about actually, if conditions are right. Clearly, this is one of the worst weeklies we've seen, but again, it just speaks to if this thing can flip it, there's so much red to turn to green, right? Obviously, we're not here to hope for it. This still looks really bad, and hey, I would definitely advise to bank whatever profits you can. But one more time, if this thing can open over the 20, where is the 20? Again, you still 9 cents. I think 9 cents. I'll set an alert for 9 cents. Why not? Not the exact number. Obviously, I wish I had the other decimals, but it happens. But yeah, if it could cross 9 cents, there's a lot of reason to believe it'll come to this 13 right here. From there, pretty much all the way to the 5, ooh, even higher. That's 17. But yeah, if not, this 15, 16 range here. So, hey, if there are any other memes you would like me to add to this, let me know in the comments, please. I think I'll look at this one a little more. I don't know if I'll do this one weekly or not, but clearly there's a lot of reason to look at it now. A lot of these, I know they drop double digits, but that doesn't mean that there are not more double digits to be had. So trade safely. Make sure you have an exit plan if things look bad. But yeah, pretty much across this video, it all looked real nice. So trade safely out there.